Greetings, football fans.
This is the ESPN LA USC Trojan Media Network.
Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
Are you ready for some football?
Here we go. Saturday, November 16th, 2024.
You're listening to USC Football, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
It is time for the USC Trojans back home at the Coliseum, homecoming weekend, and it's time to battle the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
A fake to Marks, a throw. It's Kyle Ford at the 10, Kyle Ford at the 5, Kyle Ford in the end zone. Touchdown USC! And the Trojans have tied the game with the extra point to come here in quarter. A fantastic third quarter. When all seemed lost at halftime, this Trojan team has found a way to fight back.
USC Nebraska, we count down to kickoff right now.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Only minutes until USC Nebraska at the Coliseum. We look to get back to winning on homecoming weekend.
This is the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
Handoff to Woody Marks. Dances inside, outside, 15, 10, 5. Well, they scored early, all right. Woody Marks with his third rushing touchdown of the night.
Let's go. Fight on.
Brought to you by
YETI. We make great gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder.
Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Football.
Stone Brewing, proud partner of USC Athletics.
And by SmartStop Self-Storage, the smarter way to store.
Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today.
Now, here's the Trojan Tailgate Show with Jordan Moore
Sean Cody, Sua Cravens,
and Cody Kessler.
Hello and welcome to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. We are live inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on homecoming weekend, getting you set for a matchup of blue bloods, USC versus Nebraska. I am Jordan Moore. That's our All-American Sean Cody, the playmaker Sua Cravens, and our quarterback Cody Kessler. Guys, it feels like we've been a while. It's been a while since we've been all together in this building, but we're back, and some things have changed. We got a big news week, a quarterback change, and the beat goes on here at USC.
Always, Jordan. There's always news at USC. Obviously, we're going to talk about the quarterback change a little bit, but a bye week, you get a new football facility going into USC. So a lot of things happening to USC. Never a slow news week as the Trojans roll on this season.
Homecoming weekend means something to you guys. Sometimes I forget because we're here all the time, but I think we'll have a great crowd today because there are a lot of people that come back every year.
Are you asking me personally?
In general, as a player, did you know it was homecoming?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I didn't even celebrate my high school homecoming, so I just noticed there was more fans and more students were at the game earlier, so it's nice to see a nice turnout for once, especially during this season, so homecoming's a nice little distraction.
Cody was definitely homecoming king, for sure.
Why, because I'm a quarterback? Actually, you know what? In high school, I'm with Sue on that. I never knew when it was the homecoming game until pretty much after the game was over.
Until
they announced it. I will say, though.
Until you hit the row.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, easy now. But I will say, the field looks phenomenal. The throwback jerseys, the field, if you can't see it, obviously, from this view, but we got the yellow end zone or the gold end zone, the gold emblem in the middle, too. It looks sweet. I'm excited for today.
Yeah, cut to that up top view. We've got throwback jerseys. Back to the 70s is our look today, and the diamonds in the end zone and the gold interlock at the middle of the field. It's a pretty gorgeous-looking field and a setting for a game of two programs that have a ton of history to lean into, and always sort of fighting that history, always trying to get back to the glory days. That's really the challenge for both Lincoln Riley and Matt Rule, and for Lincoln Riley, the season is not going to shape right now. And what happens in the sport, you change the quarterback. I mean, you got to find ways to galvanize the team, and usually that spot is the first one everyone looks at.
Yeah, only so many things you can do to spark a team at this stage in the game, and the Trojans just not getting it done. Obviously, you look at the road record, and you can't find a win on the road. You seem to be losing the games in the same fashion with a costly turnover and not being able to find a play on offense or defense at the end of the game to lose these games. So Lincoln Riley's pulling a Hail Mary here at the end of the season. We're going to put a new quarterback in, see if we can get this thing going, try to find 2 more wins in these last 3 games to get to that bowl berth. So got to find a spark here, and I think Lincoln Riley's trying to figure out what he can do in these last 3 games.
Jaden Mayava, not an entirely unproven player, so this is a transfer who comes in from UNLV, had a very good season last year.
Yeah, freshman player of the year in Mountain West. First time we have a real RPO threat on the offense this year, which I think this Lincoln Riley offense needs. Yeah, that's kind of what we've been missing, where these linebackers have been able to play ultra aggressive up front, especially in the run game, because we kind of knew Miller wasn't going to run the ball, not because he can't, it's just not what he does. But we've seen a few times with Jaden Maiava escape the pocket and create magic like we were used to seeing 13 do a few years ago.
Yeah, he's in that 14, which is kind of the thing when you think about backups coming in and galvanizing teams. We've had Max Brown at that podium before, Cody, and unfortunately he was on the wrong end of that. But Sam Darnold came in that season and did, he had a much longer runway to do it. But Jaden Maiava has 3 games, and I do think that he can change how we feel about this program going into the offseason in these 3 games, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. And obviously there's not enough time to go to a Rose Bowl and be a Rose Bowl MVP. I'd love to see that, but that's not happening this year. But overall for me, the biggest thing that came down to this change was, like Sean said, the turnovers, right? I know Sue had talked about being able to run the football, and Jaden does add that factor into the run game, but we're 1-4 in the last 5 games. During that stretch, Miller has 7 interceptions. When the games are so close, you just can't do that. Now, Jaden did have a little bit of a turnover issue as a freshman a year ago, and that's expected when you're a young player, but I can't wait to see what he looks like in this Lincoln Riley offense. And when you watch the tape, the biggest thing for me that jumps off for NFL scouts too is his arm talent. I'm excited to see that on display today.
As for Miller, Sean, we praise so much his loyalty to this program. He waited his turn for sure, and I liked what Lincoln Riley said this week to us on Trojans Live. One, this was not an easy decision for him. This was not one where it was like, this guy's not getting it done, we got to pull the plug. This is a situation where he looked at it and said, Miller could have played exactly the same, and we could be sitting here at 7-2. Yeah. And that's a fact. Like he's not wrong about that. There's some times that the defense just got off the field. You'd be talking about 7-2. You wouldn't be making a change, but this is sort of the business that you get into when you're in a quarterback, and even if it's not all Miller's fault, as Cody said, there's some area to improve in this position, and it's such an impactful position.
Yeah, the quarterback position, they take a brunt of the credit when it goes right, and they take all the blame when it goes wrong. Unfortunately, that's just how we look at it. It's probably not as true as we think it is, but that's just the case in college football right now, and even in the NFL. So yeah, Miller I think the turnovers were the most costly thing for him. That ended up being the record, obviously 4-5, and you're having to make that sparking change, which is I think the really reason for it. You got to find a way to get the fans and audience motivated to what's going on. So that's what I think that this whole thing is about.
Cody, you've talked about it. You've been in that seat. Tell us what it's like when you are the quarterback, and ultimately a lot of it ends up on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's like Sean said, you get all the praise and you get all the hate when that happens. And when you're a quarterback going forward, or let's look outside of that, as a skill player, when you're a wide receiver in the transfer portal, getting recruited, when they show your stat sheets, they don't show the wins and loss record, right? When you're a quarterback, that follows you everywhere you go. But yeah, I'm with Sean on that. Just 4-5 here at USC is unacceptable. There had to be a spark. We have to treat these last 3 games like a new season, and for the seniors too. You got to go out there, leave your legacy on the field. I know we fell short of expectations, but you still have a chance to create a lot of momentum going into 2025. And right now, Lincoln Riley thinks that's going to be a quarterback change, and I'm with him. I think Jaden Maiava can absolutely add a spark to this team and get you excited about the next year.
Sua, real quick, the story of the Washington game offensively was the first half they didn't run the football, the second half they did, and you were saying you sort of expect them to lean into that run identity maybe the rest of the way now that you have Maiava and his wheels.
Yeah, I think Maiava being in there just allows the offense to flourish the way we expected it to, and it's not just the passing game, but for Woody Marks especially, he's already been successful on the ground, but because you have a guy that can RPO and pull the ball and create a mismatch on the outside, that outside linebacker and even those nickel backs have to play a little bit slower, which means a lighter box for Woody. So expect a heavy workload for number 4 today.
Well, we mentioned that it was a big news week, or big news 2 weeks since last we played. Not all good news, unfortunately. On Monday, the Trojan family suffered the loss of a legend, former USC football head coach John Robinson. J-Rob, he led the Trojans to the 1978 National Championship as well as a 4-0 record in Rose Bowl games. He is the 3rd winningest coach in program history behind only John McKay and Howard Jones. And this week, we saw an outpouring of emotion for the beloved head coach from some of USC's greatest players. At 89 years old, John Robinson had lived a full and fruitful life, and his legacy will endure forever. Fight on, J-Rob.
Hey, Trojan fans.
Alas, the ship rides to the morning. You know it's calling me back home. Put down the sorrow and dance to me.
Discover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Mom! Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it!
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
Ocean views, magical sunsets, a luxury resort like no other. Discover Terranea, located along the stunning Palos Verdes Peninsula in Southern California. Book your getaway to Terranea now at Terranea.com. And when you've got good beer and good vibes, it's all bueno. Stone Buena Vesa Salt and Lime Lager is Baja-inspired and imported from San Diego, located near you at find.stonebrewing.com. Hey, that's us down here behind.
They see the buns like Mike Tyson.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, no, this is this is the Tyson shot. That was incredible.
Segment 2 already with a Sua joke.
I love it. No, I loved your commentary last night, Sua.
That was hilarious. That caught all of us off guard.
Yeah.
USC's defense. We're back live in the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Welcome. USC's defense against Washington. I wonder sometimes, guys, we talk about a lot of different things when it comes to football, but when you see a first half, second half like we did last week, sometimes you guys just need your butt kicked at halftime. I mean, there was some talk about, hey, you're trying to do your role instead of trying to do everyone else's job, and that's ultimately what they said to us after the game. But it kind of just felt like the effort, energy wasn't where it needed to be in the first half, and then it got there in the second half.
It's always funny to me, we always talk about second half adjustments, and I remember always going into the locker room, you got about 5 minutes to clear your head, and then a coach yells at you for 2 seconds, and it's like, what adjustments did we make? It's basically the adjustment in football is your energy. The only thing you can really adjust is how much energy you brought, and I thought USC started that game with zero energy on defense. The Washington Stadium was kind of dead. It was a rainy night. Energy was low, so defense looked like it didn't have a ton of juice. Second half, they came out with much better energy, and I think that's usually the biggest adjustment to me is just, hey, get fired up. Let's play some damn football here and try to win a game.
Because if the coach has something brilliant to say, you guys meet as a position group after every single series. I assume that's what you're talking about there. He's like, oh, hey, we're not doing this. Let's fix this. He's not going, hey, we'll solve that in halftime.
You're just going off his calls. Hey, he gave me a call. This is what I'm doing. So he makes the adjustment. He'll make an adjustment, but you don't know. You just got to play harder.
Yeah, no, I think Sean's absolutely right. I think it's kind of crazy that our defense didn't have energy to come out because it's a privilege to play on Saturdays. Like, that's what you get amped up for. This is what you dream about, being able to put in the battles during the spring, win a position battle during fall camp, and then get out and put that jersey on and show out in front of your fam and city on Saturdays. So when you go to an opposing team stadium and you come out flat, it just doesn't make sense to me. So Sean's right. You go into halftime, and then you get cussed out for about 5 minutes of what you need to do, and they run the same exact plays. It's all boils down to what you do, and if the energy is there and want to is there, you'll be successful. And I think they saw that in the second half.
But that is the problem, Cody, in that you end up in another close game that doesn't go your way. And it's, you look at the end of games, people like to break down the end of games, but it is 60 minutes, and you could have maybe, played like you did in the second half and the first half, and maybe it doesn't come down to the very end.
Yeah, I've said this all year, and I sound like a broken record, but it's the same issues week in and week out. We just can't put all 4 quarters together on both sides of the football. I know this is a defensive segment, but I'll talk offense here for a second. Didn't run the football well in the first half like we talked about. That's complementary football. When you're firing on all cylinders on offense, that absolutely feeds into your defense. And when your defense is flying around making plays, as an offensive player, you want to back that up. You want to go out there and support them, right? And when you're just not playing complementary football and can't put it all together, outside of the third quarter, it really just felt sluggish the entire game. We just weren't playing complete football, and we had a spark, starting that second half. And like they said, maybe you need a little bit of a butt chewing to get going. But overall, it's just frustrating that we can't put it all together at the same time on both sides of the football.
And I do want to talk offense in this segment as it relates to defense, Sean, because something that has hurt this team this year is the defense gets momentum, and you get that feeling of like, hey, this team can't drive 80 yards on us. And then you give them a short field. And I remember the Maryland one, it's not always a full pick six, right? Michigan, it was a pick six. Yeah. The Maryland one, it was a pick, and it get down to like the 25, and boom, they're right in your end zone like 3 plays later. Same thing happens at Washington, where it just felt like nothing was going for that Washington offense, but you give them that short field, and we have struggled at times on short fields this year.
Yeah, it's a sudden change for the defense, right? That's what you go over. That's what you practice, and you go on field and you practice on Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, we have a sudden change. We got a short field. Here's our calls. We got to get out there with high energy because this place is rocking now. The momentum's changed. You got to come out with that same energy, and this seems like too many times this year this defense hasn't been able to match that energy in those sudden change moments. I can just think of too many short fields this year where guys in 2 or 3 plays are in the end zone. You got to match that energy when those kind of plays happen, because sudden change is a big part of the game.
What was your mentality, Sue, in those situations? After first you were like, damn, Cody screwed us up again.
Damn, Cody.
Hey.
You got to leave that on the sideline.
It absolutely sucks when you sit down on the sideline after you just got off the field, and then you hear the crowd roar, and you're like, oh, touchdown, and you look, and they're like, defense, and you got to throw the water down and look for your helmet. But immediately you're thinking, hold them to a field goal. That's the number one most obvious thing. If you can't get a stop, hold them to a field goal. They're starting on your 45. They're already maybe 3 or 4 plays away from getting into scoring range. So just get a stop and hold them into field goal range. But if your defense can't come out and have your offenses back, just like the offense can't have your defenses back, it's not a recipe for success. And we haven't seen that since earlier in the year so far.
I will say real quick, too, that is a lonely feeling. When you're a quarterback and you put your defense in a bad spot when they're playing so well, coming off the field. Because you have to run right by them.
They're
coming on the field.
I'll be looking at Cody.
My head's
Thanks,
down.
Cody.
I'm upset. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Cody.
I go sit on the bench, but you got to have a short memory and erase that. But yeah, it just feels like those issues, we can't overcome them. In these close games, just the margin for error is too small, and we've got to be able to get that fixed.
It's like that Yankees 5th inning, Sean. The pitcher's got to pick up his team when they commit errors.
Hey, now.
Let it go.
Go Dodgers.
Let it go.
Think about let it go.
Hey, speaking of that real quick, what do you put that on? Was that Rizzo, or are you putting that on Cole?
On the pitcher.
Okay.
It's on the pitcher. Every baseball person says it's on the pitcher.
Okay.
We were going to do a little pass rush talk here. They're telling us we got to get off, Sean, but there is not a lot of pass rush going on, and it's noticeable against these pass-happy teams like Washington.
Well, you saw what Washington did. They just ran slant routes all night, and when you're running slant routes, those are quick routes. You're not going to get home a lot. I think teams have figured out what USC kind of defense wants to do. They're going to be backed off on those slant routes or picking them apart. It's hard to get home in that short amount of spots.
See if they can get after Dylan Raiola today. Men's basketball sitting at 3-0. Big game coming up tomorrow night, taking on Cal LA versus the Bay. Old rivalry between USC and Cal. Now it's a Big Ten ACC showdown, but it's USC Cal. So Cal versus NorCal. 6:30 is your tip tomorrow. Get to Galen, USCTrojans.com/tickets. All right, our offensive game plan is next in the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
You can feel it. A force that moves everything around it. With intensity and power that comes from deep down inside. Full-time fans, your passion is unshakable, and you deserve a reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
What if you could use retirement accounts to invest in crypto? With iTrust Capital, you can. iTrust Capital allows you to invest in your favorite crypto assets 24/7 with the tax benefits of an IRA. So instead of paying taxes on your crypto gains every year, you can defer taxes till you retire using an iTrust IRA. Or with an iTrust Roth IRA, you can withdraw tax-free at retirement because you're in this for the long haul. Start investing today at iTrustCapital.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
ESPN LA and the all-new ESPN LA app and KNX 1070. News coverage continues on 97.1 FM. Fight on.
Hey, Trojan fans, celebrate every Trojan win and enjoy the sweet taste of victory with a free donut at Ralph's the day after the win. Download your digital coupon from the Ralph's app to score your free donut at any Los Angeles area Ralph's store. And Trojan fans, get ready to fight on with Fruitist blueberries. Sweet, crunchy, and packed with goodness. They're the ultimate game day snack. Fruitist, the official superfruit snack of USC Trojans, available in stores near you. There's some great tailgating going on homecoming Saturday. You think a lot of blueberries out there, Sean?
Yeah, a lot of fruit out there, I'm sure.
Welcome back to the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. It's time now for our offensive game plan.
The USC Trojans offensive game plan is brought to you by DirecTV.
Stream the Trojans all season long on DirecTV without a satellite dish.
Jade Mayava makes his first start at quarterback today for this USC offense, but I want to take a look at a couple plays from a year ago at UNLV when he was the starter and show you why I think he's such a great fit in Lincoln Riley's scheme and what he's capable of in this offense. Now, if you look at the screen here, if you're listening at home, the first play I want to look at is to show off the arm talent a little bit. You're going to see a play action here. He's going to half roll, set up on the hash. You have a pressure post from the slot player. He's going to run away from that too high safety. He's going to set up here. You're going to see he's going to get pressure in his face. He doesn't have a chance to step into this throw. He's going to throw it off his back foot, but look at the arm talent. This is a beautiful throw with the wide receiver running away from him, and he finishes in the end zone. This is at a crucial moment in this football game, too. Now let's look at the zone run here. He does a great job of reading that defensive end. You're going to see the running back crash down here. This is a triple option. Look, not quite what we do, but he does a great job of seeing that defensive end crash down. He can pull it. He puts him in a tough position, but when he pulls it, now there's another layer to this. Now you put the cornerback in a bind. He has to decide whether to take the pitch man or to take the quarterback, but Jaden, being so athletic, puts his foot in the ground, cuts up, gets a nasty stiff arm there on the linebacker, using his physicality, and finishes in the end zone. Now the next play here I want to show off again. The arm talent, guys, is off the charts. This is an unbelievable throw. This is an NFL throw. You have a fade route or a go route at the top of your screen. He's going to put his foot in the ground. Great timing here, and look at that ball placement. That is a 30, 35-yard frozen rope. That is a one-by-one window. That's a beautiful throw. I always tell my quarterbacks at home, I'm not throwing it to you, I'm throwing it through you, and he does just that. And then the last play here, again, to show off the arm talent. Look at the guy at the bottom of your screen. He's going to have another go ball here, and I've talked so much this year about when we beat DBs behind them, when we get behind the defensive back, throw a 3-ball, put it up, throw it with air, get it out in front, let him go get it. When the receiver wins at the line of scrimmage, we got to do our job as a quarterback to let them go finish in the end zone. Guys, I expect a lot of that here today from Jade Mayava. This is his opportunity to show if he can be the quarterback of the future here at USC.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing maybe the vertical passing game getting going. We have a big Jaden segment coming up, but when I think about vertical passing games, Zachariah Branch is a guy we've kind of never unlocked in 2 years in the vertical passing game. He did have a little bit of a breakout last week. I'm not sure it necessarily felt like it at the time, but it was his first ever 100-yard receiving game in college here in 2 years, so it's pretty much a breakout game for him.
Yeah, I think for the first time this season we saw Zach play fast. He didn't second-guess his movements. He just kind of caught the ball and went. He wasn't thinking about his next move. He just turned back into that athlete we were so accustomed to seeing at Bishop Gorman, and it was nice to see, especially with the ball in his hands in the open field. And as you can see right here, he's just not a guy stutter-stepping, not a guy looking around, just getting the ball and going, and we need more of that out of Zach going forward.
Man, I hope he has time to talk to our tunnel captain today. To break the secret, if you haven't seen, Adoree Jackson is our tunnel captain today, and that would be a good conversation. You know, Sean, you were talking to a young player yesterday as a recruit, so we can't say who it is. But you know, with those generational conversations, I think Zach could learn a lot from someone like Adoree.
Oh, it would be great to talk about those guys. The old guys that come around here. I got a chance to talk to Willie McGinnis yesterday, and it's just great to pick those guys' brains because they're such a vast wealth of knowledge. Sometimes you just think, there's Willie McGinnis, and you don't really get to talk ball with him. But I got a chance to talk ball with him. And if Zach gets a chance, you love to pick Adoree's brain because he's still doing it, obviously, but a wealth of knowledge knowledge in that brain is Zach just kind of entering that phase of his career.
Yeah, and obviously, Zach doesn't play defense like Adoree does, but that return game, Adoree kind of hit a slump a little bit in his sophomore year. You guys were both gone by that point? I think it was the year after both of you left?
Yeah. I played my senior year.
You played with Adoree that year?
No, we both left the same. 2015, right? Was his freshman year.
He was a sophomore 2015.
No, he was a freshman.
He was a freshman 2014.
You don't even know your own teammates.
He was a freshman 2014.
I think Sue was right.
Yep.
He was a freshman.
Our quarterback, everybody.
His junior year was 2016.
Yeah,
he was. No.
Our quarterback, everybody.
Yeah.
Cody Kessler.
I don't even know my own teammates.
Because I remember him in punt return. He hit a little bit of a slump, right?
and he had that big play we were talking about against Nebraska in the Holiday Bowl. Yeah, that's right.
It's not like it's not like Zach has lost any of his ability. It's just sometimes his confidence, right? I think he came in here last year feeling like nobody can tackle me, and he's lost a little bit of that this year. But it's still in there. They just got to find a way to get it back.
I think also him having that weight on him has changed his game a little bit. He's gained that 10 pounds of muscle that we all were bragging about. That changes, especially fast guys. I can't help but think of a guy named George Farmer who was so big and so explosive that it worked against his ligaments. He ended up tearing his ACL, I think, 3 times because he could run a 4.2 at 235 pounds. So when you get that much weight on you and you're used to moving left and right, it's hard on your ligaments.
Farmer was like tight.
Yeah.
He didn't have that sort of looseness to him. He was straight line speed, but he didn't have that wiggle to him a little bit.
Well, I thought you were going to, when you said weight, I thought you were going to talk about like the weight on his shoulders because we talk about a sophomore slump, right? And I don't think that's quite this, but when you have such an explosive freshman year, and we already expected a lot from him being a 5-star, but when you play that well as a freshman, they expect you to get better and better. And it's tough to keep elevating that, but he's got to find his rhythm and do that. And hopefully last week against Washington or a couple weeks ago will be that spark that he needs, and we'll get him going today.
He's already on the All-American wall. As a return man, obviously,
a lot of
expectations, but he's on the All-American wall. Makai Lemon is a guy who sort of came in a little bit more under the radar, quiet first season. He's really gotten consistent, guys. I look at his last 4 games. He's averaging 6.5 catches and 91.5 yards. So you're really just starting to see some consistency at that receiver position, which kind of nobody's been able to tap into this year.
Yeah, and I just think it's going to be adding Jaden into that arm strength, those deep balls. We've seen Makai a couple times this year get behind the defense and not be able to get him the ball. So hopefully maybe Jaden can unlock some of those deep passes from him.
Lemon has also unlocked the kick return game the last couple weeks. USC starting to make some plays in special teams thanks to Lemon. All right, we talked about a big men's game tomorrow. Well, next week, USC women's basketball against Notre Dame at the Galen Center. It does not get a whole lot better than that. USC women's team absolutely annihilated Cal State Northridge this week. Just one of the craziest scores you'll see. They won yesterday against Santa Clara. They're taking on the Irish and Hannah Hidalgo, who was really the second best freshman in the country last year behind Juju Watkins. So a matchup of super sophomores. First 1,000 fans receive a free gold t-shirt. Go to usctrojans.com/tickets for that one. Defensive game plan is next on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Dad, are there fees in this food?
Yeah, so?
Doriander and I don't allow fees into our bodies. We only order from Postmates. They support our fee-free lifestyle.
You must free your food from fees.
Go fee-free on orders over $50. Only on Postmates.
As a lifestyle guard, I help people live their best day in the sun. That means keeping the games going. Coming to the rescue when the floaty is too floppy. And delivering high noon when the cooler's empty.
Oh, do you have any peach?
High noon, sun's up.
I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls in the wishing well. Now I get plenty coin, but I'm self-made. You ain't gotta wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said. I see the facade when looking, it really be like you could tell. My guard up, I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mill. I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris. I be precise with the timing. I never know where my mind went.
Bring it on the baseline. We never stop. The number one thing you have to do playing for us is play hard. That's it. Because you're going into probably the most, not probably, it's the most physical league in the country. The only way to survive in the Big Ten is with toughness. That's the only way.
USC men's basketball is looking for a 4-0 season start tomorrow night as they battle the Cal Golden Bears. Coverage tips off at 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. Fight on!
Don't let someone else drive off in the Audi model you've always wanted. Visit your Southern California Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today. Or visit SoCalAudiDealers.com for more information. If you want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans, be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart & Final. It's a free newsletter. It'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to USCTrojans.com/3 Torches and sign up. Back live inside the Coliseum, getting you set for USC versus Nebraska on homecoming Saturday with Sean Cody, Sue Cravens, and Cody Kessler. I am Jordan Moore, and it's time now for our defensive game plan.
The USC Trojans defensive game plan is brought to you by LifeLaw.
Injury law made simple.
So, no plays this week, only talking about the defense as a whole. As we've seen in the last few weeks, the defense either starts out strong and then kind of withers away in the second half or vice versa. So today we just need this defense to play as a whole. They need to play as one. They need to do their job. There is no magical second half adjustments to be made, as we've discussed earlier in the show. There just needs to be that energy immediately from the first kickoff, and it is homecoming. So I expect our defense to play fast. I expect them to play responsible, gap discipline, and to tackle as one, as you need to do every single week to be successful.
Yeah, I think Sue is right. You know, I think today is really important because we're playing a freshman quarterback who started off the season pretty hot, but he's cooled down tremendously, thrown some interceptions, and teams have really got after him. I think you watch teams play him, put a ton of pressure on this kid, and I think that if you're Coach Lynn and you're watching this game film, I'd like him to dial up today versus Dylan Raiola. He looks like he's a little bit lost right now in this time of season. Can't let him get back on track today. Got to bring the heat today. Got to find some pass rush wins. Got to find some blitzes here in this game and get after him and confuse that young freshman quarterback here in the Coliseum. Got to get loud in here for homecoming, get him, Jordan, and get this place riled up.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance for these guys to catch one or two today. Dylan Raiola will throw you some interceptions, and so the secondary maybe getting healthy today. We'll check with Keely Orr a little bit and get the full injury report as you see that USC's defensive rankings up on the board, sort of middle tier this season. We talked about the pass rush has been down. They've been really good on third down. They've definitely been improved under Danton Lynn, but still some room to grow for sure. But Sua getting Jalen and Greedy back last week. Jalen Smith and Greedy Vance. Smith had 7 tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups. Gritty Vance, we called him out early in the broadcast. Sean, his coverage, man-to-man coverage is always seems to be excellent. So maybe getting healthy there, and they'll need him today because Raiola, while maybe inconsistent, is very talented. Yeah, no, it's good that we have our starting DBs back in the game, and it's going to be needed because this is a guy that will throw the ball and give us chances. But in order for that to take place, it's hard. It's been hard for us to kind of conjure up a pass rush, but we need to put pressure on Raiola because he does not like when guys are in his face. He does not like to stare down the barrel of the gun, and he will toss it up for anybody to catch. So we need our DBs playing tight coverage. I know we're used to playing off at 10. Today I would like to see our DBs playing at 5, maybe even a little press man and locking and going one post safety and allowing this quarterback to think that he has a shot down the field so that we can't create those opportunities for picks, tips, and overthrows. And Kamari Ramsey, Cody, is a guy that we were really counting on, and he's quietly missed some games here. So you're hoping to get him back today as a leader. Jacoby Covington has been out for a while. You just never really know, unless it's like just a clear season-ending injury. You just sort of really never know what's up these days. And so when Kamari went down, it didn't seem that bad. But now he's missing games, and this team just didn't necessarily have the second level to replace Eric Gentry and Kamari Ramsey and some of these other guys. Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be a lot easier for my prep with the injury report in the Big Ten, but it's still questionable. Means a whole different thing than it does in the NFL. But yeah, we would love to get Kamari back. You obviously had Zion Branch, Braxton saw some guys step up. Keely Arnold. I will say, though, what we talked about earlier, I think Jalen Smith is making himself a lot of money this year at the next level. He's playing phenomenal football. Greedy Vance has been a pleasant surprise. Outside of Kamari Ramsey, probably our best transfer player on this defense this year. You could argue Easton as well, but Greedy Vance has been a pleasant surprise. But yeah, we got to get Kamari back. He's been the leader of this defense. His physicality in the back end, especially in the Big Ten Conference, has been missed the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he's here today. If not, we've got to get him healthy. But it's kind of flirting with that line now, Jordan, of do you rush him back if he's not ready because the season's already, quote-unquote lost, or do you let him get healthy and then wait for next year? The linebacking position, Sean, has been the one constant in a team that's really needed some consistency. Easton Mascarenas-Arnold, who Cody just mentioned, it comes in as a transfer. Mason Cobb came in as a transfer last year, had sort of an up-and-down season last year. Both have been pretty rock solid. What are you seeing on film? I mean, they each have the 2 picks. They lead the team in tackles every week.
Yeah, I mean, you think about last year and you just think about the amount of missed tackles. I think the amount of missed tackles was alarming last year, and that's why you got a whole new defensive staff coming here in the second half. Coach Matt Ensign did a good job with these guys. Obviously, Eric Gentry goes down, and that was a big piece of this. But these 2 guys, Mason Cobb and Easton Mascarenas-Arnold, have done a phenomenal job of getting tackles, just racking up just consistent tackling. When those guys get to the ball, running backs go down. You want linebackers like that who you can trust, and those 2 guys all year have done a solid job making sure that they're wrapping up on tackles.
Either one of those guys stand above the other for you, Sewell? What are you seeing at the linebacker spot?
I like that Mason Cobb kind of refound his identity again. I know when he first got here, he was struggling, and he wasn't that physical force that I at least thought he was going to be coming from Oklahoma State. But I think he's reestablished himself as a physical run stopper. Even when he's not making the tackles, you can just kind of spot him on film, just knocking guys back that come through on pulling guards or GG run schemes. And then, Easton Arnold, he just has a nose for the football. He seems to find a way to get to the ball carrier no matter what side of the field he's on. And I think at this point, he's averaging like double-digit tackles a game. So just been a godsend on defense for us. Even though we haven't necessarily got the splash plays, he's been consistent in the run game.
2 more games after this for USC, and they're the 2 big rivalry games we talk about every year. At UCLA next week at the Rose Bowl, and then it finishes up against Notre Dame inside the Coliseum. That one is always special. Notre Dame in the playoff hunt again for the chance for the Trojans to spoil their season a bit and maybe save USC's in the process. That's coming up 2 weeks from today. Fill that stadium, usctrojans.com/tickets. All right, we've got more Trojan Tailgate Show to come on Homecoming Saturday.
Personal injury suits can be scary and full of questions. How can I pay for it? If I've been in an accident, who fixes my car? Who pays my medical bills? And will it all be worth it in the end? LifeLaw simplifies the process, answering your questions and more by providing 24/7 support that's clear and precise, while offering the latest in technology to let you know where your case stands at all times. Good news. LifeLaw. Injury law.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Hey man, do you have a non-alcoholic beer that
actually tastes good? I think you mean athletic.
Excuse me? Do you have that great non-alcoholic beer?
I'll 7.
Found it.
Do you have a favorite non-alcoholic beer on the menu?
Ah. Athletic it is.
She's funny.
Hello, Mia. Are you ready to meet your demise?
Man, we really need to upgrade your trash talk.
Nice shot. Taker.
Who programmed you? I'll see you tomorrow.
The future isn't scary. Not investing in it is. 100 innovative companies, 1 ETF. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
On 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and KNX 1070. News coverage continues on 97.1 FM. Fight on!
Introducing Celaya Tequila, brought to you by USC football legends Matt and Ryan Khalil. Celebrate your story with a homegrown spirit, Celaya Tequila. Hey, Trojan fans, celebrate every Trojan win. Enjoy the sweet taste of victory with a free donut at Ralph's the day after the win. Download your digital coupon from the Ralph's app to score your free donut at any Los Angeles area Ralph's store. Sean, you prefer to celebrate victories with donuts or tequila?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a toss-up for me, man.
Maybe both. Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Sunday morning, Bloody Maria with a donut, maybe tomorrow?
Shot in the donut hole. All right, we're back live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. It's time for this week's Impact Matchup.
The USC Impact Matchup of the Week is brought to you by Invesco QQQ.
Invesco QQQ. Explore with Invesco QQQ. Fight on.
Fight on.
Now, the Impact Matchup of the Week.
Well, we're going to take a look at how Jade Mayava is going to impact this matchup today as the new USC quarterback. And, Cody broke some of it down earlier. We've talked about it throughout the broadcast. But what to expect, Sean? I mean, I always, you ask a guy to come in here, put his cape on, and save the season. That's always unfair expectations. What are fair expectations?
Fair expectations. I think Lincoln Riley's going to have a game plan for Jaden. I think he's going to be set to run the ball with Woody Marks. I think you watched last week against Washington that second half. They went strictly to that run and then threw a couple passes that got away from us there. That probably ended to our demise in those games. So I think if you're Lincoln Riley, you lean heavy on that run, and then you take those deep shots. I think that's what my game plan would be. Let's run the ball. And when that defense sucks up a little bit, I'm taking some deep shots today, and that's the way I would roll today. I don't know much about play calling, Cody, but that's what I would do today.
Chuck and Duck.
That was great. For those of you who can't see, and obviously on the radio, Sean just got missed by a football by about 3 inches and kept rolling. That was impressive. But
you think a football can hurt me? I weigh 310 pounds.
I ducked over here and it wasn't even close. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the biggest thing for me is the expectations. Like Jordan just mentioned, he's still a young player. Was just a freshman a year ago. There's going to be some highs. You're going to see flashes of how good he can be. There's going to be some lows. I hope there's not, but he's probably going to make some mistakes early on. There's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders today. Don't give up on him, right? Let him work through that. Let him work through some adversity. If there's an interception, if there's a fumble, I still expect him to bounce back from that. But I'm excited. It's a lot of pressure to be a quarterback here at USC. This is his first year at the program. He's only a sophomore, but there's a lot of things that he can do well today that I think, like I said before, can set him up to be the quarterback of the future here at USC.
Sue, a proud Poly that you are, first Polynesian starting quarterback in USC history.
Ooh,
I didn't realize that.
Uso.
Honestly, it kind of surprised me.
He's Polynesian?
Are you not?
Wow. I was going to say something in Samoan, but I'm not going to.
I was waiting for
it. You like Lil Jon? Yeah, you listen to Lil Jon?
Go for it.
Shots is what I want to see today. Obviously, we'll mix in the RPO because Jaden can run the football, and that's going to help our running game. But we've heard so much about his arm talent. We've seen it all for the last 2 weeks, all 100%. These receivers praising how far he can throw the football. So I want to see him flick that thing and see how far if he can get a ball at least past 40 yards.
And that is true. He does have a live arm. I've got to see him throw in person. It's going to be fun to watch.
Sean, last week's game, or the 2 weeks ago's game, the last game that was played by USC, there was a red zone stop that ultimately, felt like it decided it. And, a lot of talk after that one about, hey, when you don't have a dual threat at quarterback, it's harder to run that run scheme, in that tight area. In particular, the red zone, I think Mayava gives you another live bullet and really helps you there.
Yeah, and all you need is a step, right? You need a step from that linebacker. You need a step from that defensive end if he's reading him on those plays where he can kind of take off. You see it all the time, that naked little bootleg they take off and make it in the end zone. It fools defenses all the time. So if you put a little hesitancy, all you need is a step. If you're Mayava, you're coming down there and you see that defensive end, he hesitates for a moment or comes down too far and that linebacker's not coming over the top. That's all it takes for one quick play. So that's what Mayava has. We've seen it earlier in the season. That kind of speed, he can turn it on and get that edge on you.
Yeah, a couple of stats to illuminate what you guys are saying, both in the run game and the vertical passing game. Miller on the season, if you take out the sacks, has 11 carries for 41 yards, does have the 2 touchdowns. Jade Mayava last year, if you take out the sacks, had 396 yards rushing. Okay, so he is a major rushing threat compared to what you were seeing. And then the vertical pass game, Miller is 9th in the Big Ten at 7.1 yards per attempt. Jade Mayava led the Mountain West last year at 8.7 yards per attempt. So, the vertical threat and the run threat is what they're hoping to unlock in this offense. We're looking to unlock Keely. You're here on the sideline. Keely, where you at?
I'm right at the 50.
Oh, okay. Don't stand on the 50, Keely. There was a little pregame kerfuffle. Were you involved? Were you stomping on the logo?
I was not. I know better, Jordan.
You're allowed to. You should have gone out there and defended.
Okay.
Defend your alma mater, Keely.
Sure, I'll do that. I also have a tweet for you, Jordan.
What do you got?
Well, you talked about expectations earlier this segment. I want to continue that theme. It's a question from Rama, who said, what are realistic expectations for the final finish for the Trojans? He said 3-0 or 2-1, but I'm curious what you guys think.
What can be accomplished in the final 3 games, guys?
I think you got to win this one. I'm
Yeah.
always this is one against Nebraska, a team that's kind of floundered here. They're in a 3-game losing streak. It's your homecoming. You got a new quarterback. Should be some good juice in the building today. You got to find a way to win this one, and if you win this one, you probably should beat UCLA. And then it comes at that Notre Dame game, rivalry game. Notre Dame playing better ball. Obviously took a tough L at the start of the season, but playing better ball right here. So that one's a question mark. These next 2 you got to have.
I'm sure the glass half full SC fans are saying 3-0, and that's the only option we have. And I think the more realistic SC fans are saying each week, you take it day by day. So most important game is Nebraska, and I think that this is a very realistic win for us. But it can get out of hand if we allow Dylan Raiola to get a little confidence and start flinging that thing around. So we just got to play smart and take care of the game that's in front of us.
Yeah, regardless of what the record is, we've got to win 2 of the next 3. I don't care if it's 2-1 or 3-0. We have to make a bowl game. I know you may be saying, look, it's not a New Year's Six bowl. It's not a college football playoff. We have to make a bowl game. We don't want to be going to Cancun early. We don't want to not be playing in the postseason no matter what the bowl game is, but we have to get that done. If not going 500 and winning 6 games, in my opinion, at USC is just unacceptable.
1, 2, 3 Cancun? Now you don't want to hear that in the huddle?
No, we're not going. I don't care what bowl game it is. We've got to make one. We've got to be able to play.
What if it's the Cancun Bowl?
And then we're going to Cancun on 3.
The Bahama Bowl?
I'll be there.
I would love that. That sounds good. Kill 2 birds.
Yeah.
All right, after the break, we're going to take a closer look at these Nebraska Cornhuskers. It's the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Straight to the cup and scores on the layup. Up ahead to Smith. An easy lay-in.
Fell out with them. We ain't never making up.
Straight to the rim. Lays it up and in.
We turned the whole house into a booth. We in the kitchen. Let her cook. Big low come through frying. Hey, let her cook. Okay. Too much cake out bow. Oh God, let her cook.
As the head honcho at Buzzballs Land, it's my life's mission to make sure that Buzzballs premixed cocktails are as bold and delicious as you've come to expect. One way that we do that is by playing music for the plants, like so. Man, them thing juicy, and you know they round. Take one sip, baby, I'm in Flavor Town. What you want, baby? I'm the Buzzball man. Making them bands with the ball-shaped can. Come on. Buzzball, buzzball. Buzzball.
In the natural rhythm of travel, 2 forces quarry against one another. Bad fast. Time becomes foe, creating chaos and misfortune at every happenstance. No shirt nor sock is safe from the upheaval. Good fast. Well, you can only find that at Ontario International Airport. Like a perfectly balanced ecosystem, ONT provides non-stop ease and stress-free travel. Because in the airport kingdom, faster is always better.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
ESPN LA and the all-new ESPN LA app and KNX 1070. News coverage continues on 97.1 FM. Fight on.
Surprise! We're live back in the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, and we've got our tunnel captain. It's Adoree Jackson, a man that electrified this Coliseum during his career at USC, former Thorpe Award winner, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Bottom line, just one of the most exciting players in the history of USC. Has anyone had a better last game in the Coliseum than you had? That was your last game. Was your last home game?
Last home game versus Notre Dame. It was a trip.
It was a trip for all of us. We were all just standing there and all watching it, man. What's it like to be back?
It feels great. This is actually my first time back. You know, it's been 8 years since I've been here. So first time to be able to come back and see the Trojans come out. So it's a great place to be. It's so historic. It brings back a lot of memories, especially with these two. Well, Sua's over there.
Yeah, we don't let Sua answer questions. We have to kick him off because we don't know what he's going to say.
Sua and Cody being able to play with those guys and now to be back here, man, it's amazing.
Adoree, take us through your NFL journey. Obviously, 8 years you talked about, with the Titans and now with the Giants. How's the NFL life treated you, bud?
I would say it's treated me well. Obviously, we're not winning, the way what I would like.
Jordan's been sad, too. He's a big Giants guy.
Man, Adoree, man. I'm rooting for it every week, bud. I'm rooting for it every week.
But the first half of my career when I was in Tennessee, went to the playoffs 3 out of the 4 times, went to the AFC Championship game. So, the Lord has been good to me, been letting me see a lot of success. Even though I'm not having it right now the way I want, I can't complain.
I got to ask you, we just talked about it, but what is your favorite memory here in the Coliseum, besides maybe your first touchdown catch from a certain quarterback? But outside of that, what was your favorite memory here at the Coliseum?
Man, what's hilarious is it would be your last year when we went and beat UCLA.
Yeah, to win the South.
Yeah, so to win and to send the seniors off right, I believe it was senior night.
Yeah.
So to have everybody have that moment of victory, have that shine, that's always going to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too, man. That's a good one.
Adoree, do you think it's fair that when Cody would just throw you a 1-yard pass and you ran it 70 yards, that he got 70 yards credit for that? Do you think that's fair?
I do, because I think of when we played up at Wazoo, and I think you had a career high.
Yeah. I threw like 4 and 5 touchdowns or something like that.
What were the air yards on that day, though? Were we counting air yards?
We were throwing shots that game. Yeah,
we were having fun. Nelson had a good game. Juju had a good game.
I'll tell you what, Jordan, the ball placement still on that 1-yard route. He's talking about the Nebraska game in the Holiday Bowl, and I threw the 1-yarder, and he went for 77, and I got all the stats.
Yeah.
I almost gave him my MVP trophy in that Holiday Bowl, too.
Have.
I did feel bad a little bit, but yeah.
The guy flipped in the end zone. He did it all.
Yeah.
Try to have a little fun, bring a little spark. I told the guys before, I told Sark that I would do it. He didn't believe me, so when I did it, he wasn't even mad because I spoke into existence, so it was cool.
Adoree, we were talking a little bit about homecoming. Obviously, a big day for all the Trojan fans out here, big homecoming game. Do you remember any of your college or high school homecoming? Sarah, right? Sarah High School. You remember those homecoming games? Were you the king? Cody was on the court, I think, for his. So do you remember those homecoming games back in the day?
No, I wasn't as popular as Cody to be on the homecoming court. But I do remember those games and just being able to have just greatness come back. You know, you get to see the tradition. You get to see the ones that came before you and give you a little hope, a little bit of inspiration to go out there and do something, not just for your own legacy, but for them as well.
Outside of, playing and memories like that, what type of emotions do you get being back in this place, right? Being home in the Coliseum. And kind of a follow-up on that with the homecoming question, how do we feel about the old school throwback field here and the throwback jerseys as well? Are those better than the chrome ones that we had?
Man, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get it. Yeah, I looked at them and was a little upset.
Yeah.
I said I need me a 2 jersey at least. But just to come back in this Coliseum, it just brings back those emotions of playing, those feelings of playing, like that butterfly feeling. So I'm excited, and I think, we can go out there and beat Nebraska, as we should. So we can be bowl eligible, man. I'm ready to get bowl eligible.
Sua, do you want to join the show, Sua? You are still part of this crew.
Chomping at the bit over
here. Here we go.
Ask a quick
question. This one,
You finally got somebody that you want to talk to?
I just had a quick question. Or a funny story.
Yeah.
Before Adoree even got to USC and was flipping, he knows. Before he was flipping in end zones and winning awards, I get a phone call from like an Illuminati number. They're like, Sua, can you come off the 2-1 for Adoree?
And you said, hell no.
Hell no, and hung up the phone.
I remember that vividly. I was so, I wore it because of my friend who passed away, but obviously I knew of Sua. The funny story is we used to see Sua's highlight tape, and we swore he had this Superman music on the background. It was 10 minutes long. He was
my dad chose that.
Defensive end, and it was the craziest thing ever. So then it come on the field, and, I knew I probably wasn't going to get it, but, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I asked anyways. He was pissed at me.
No cash exchange? I don't blame him. Did you offer anything?
We didn't get NIL then, Jordan.
I was about to say, we wasn't getting money.
No, we could offer a stipend and maybe some Taco Bell.
I told
USC,
and this is before they changed the rule. I said, if I can wear number 0, I'll give them 21. And they were like, that's not an option. I was like, well, this conversation's over.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it worked out, though. I think the deuce was memorable. Obviously, you, Robert Woods, some big-time names in that jersey. So I think the 2 was perfect.
It fits me well, especially with Robert Woods. You got T. Mays, the original Steve Smith.
Yeah, Steve Smith.
Man, so it's cool to put on that deuce.
When these young guys talk to you on a day like today, we were talking about this earlier in the show. You like talking to the sort of next generation of these guys? Is it weird for you to sort of give advice as an older guy? But what are your conversations like in that locker room when the guys want to talk to you?
It's like one of those each one teach one moments. Got guys like this to left me to be able to talk down to me and give me advice, show me the ropes, and do different things. So it's only right that I pay it forward and do the same to them. So I'm always looking and willing to give advice only if they ask. I don't want to be that person is just in their ear, because I was young at once, like, I'm not trying to hear that. You know what I mean? So we all been there. So when they ask and want advice, I'm willing to give, and I just want to see them succeed and do better than I ever done.
Hamstrings warmed up. You got I see you got the shorts on. You got the kicks. You ready to run this team out, man? You ready to go?
Yeah, I got the shorts on because it was like 38 degrees in New York.
Flip.
You got a flip in you?
Don't do it.
I do, but I'm not going to do it.
No.
Adoree, the best, man. One of the most electric players in the history of USC football, man. It is so good to have you back in this house. I can't believe it's your first official game back, but you're leading the team out, leading the team to a W. No doubt about that. Hey, hang with us so you can scan that QR code for the rest of the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Our idea of the perfect day? You, your best friend.
Yeah, buddy. You ready to run?
And Quattro all-wheel drive. Own the elements in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
Smart Stop Self-Storage has state-of-the-art security systems operating 24 hours a day, so we see everything. Everything.
As a lifestyle guard, I help people live their best day in the sun. That means keeping the games going. Coming to the rescue when the floaty is too floppy. And delivering high noon when the cooler's empty.
Oh, do you have any peach?
High noon, sun's up.
USC men's basketball is looking for a 4-0 season start tomorrow night as they battle the Cal Golden Bears. Coverage tips off at 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. Fight on!
Trojan fans, you can listen to USC football and all the biggest college football and basketball games on the TuneIn app. Free internet radio. And don't wait until game time to plan for retirement. Open your free iTrust Capital account today and get your crypto IRA. iTrust Capital is the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. We are back live inside the Coliseum. Great seeing Adoree Jackson. God, such a great tunnel captain. We even got Sua back on the stage for it, man. I mean, that's exciting.
That's my dog.
Love to hear it. Time now for this week's scouting report.
It's time for the Scouting Report, brought to you by Stone Brewing, proud partner of USC Athletics.
Now we're going to help you get to know today's opposing team.
Today's opposing team is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Cody, Sua, how old were you guys in like 1997?
2 years old.
I was 4 years old. 4 years old.
See, we were talking about earlier in the Trojans Live. They don't know that Nebraska used to run college football.
Oh yeah, they had some great years. The defenses they used to put out, quarterbacks, man. Nebraska football was it for a while.
Hey, I got a little trivia for you.
Yeah.
You know what the Nebraska defense is called?
Black shirts.
You know why they're called that?
No.
And do you know who started it?
Okay, go ahead. Why don't you
Here we
just tell
go.
us?
Okay, well, back in the 1960s, a coach by the name of Bob Devaney started it, followed up by a familiar name in the 70s, Monty Kiffin, and then obviously now it's become their starting their starting defense.
Why?
It's the black shirts.
Is there a why?
So the reason is they wanted to differentiate between the starters and the backups at practice. Devaney had one of his assistant coaches go out to a Goodwill store, right, or any type of sporting goods store to go find some cover-up jerseys.
And then
all they had was black. The only ones that was black. Brought him over. It became a signature thing. And there's a little history.
So the black shirts were the backups.
No, the black shirts were the starters. The green, I think the green shirts were the backups. But then it just became, and then Bo Pelini made it to where you have to earn it later in the season. And now Rule kept it going, and now the starters are known as the black shirts.
I had Will Compton on my team my rookie year, so he used to give us a black shirts lesson every Saturday.
That's a little fun fact for you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley's not the only coach out there that has pressure to bring it back to the glory days. Matt Rule has certainly inherited that pressure in Nebraska. I think tougher times probably for Nebraska over the last 25 years. They haven't really got it rocking in the Big Ten, but he's an accomplished coach, and they certainly showed some signs earlier this season that they might be on the up and up.
Yeah, they got it going early. Had a big win against Colorado, who's rolling right now, so that was kind of their big win, signature win of the year.
They hammered them.
Yeah, pretty good early on in the year, and then Illinois was their first loss, and then they got to the last couple of games. It's been a struggle for them. Indiana put it on them pretty good. 56-7. You got Ohio State, which was a pretty good ball game. You watched that one. That was a good one to watch them because they went back and forth in that game, and then UCLA, a tough one at home. So these last 3 games have been struggling a little bit. The quarterback has thrown a couple more interceptions than he has throughout the rest of the season, so they got to get back on track here if they want to try to get into a bowl game.
Yeah, we talk about things that you do to ignite a football team. They're not going to change their quarterback because they are very much invested in Dylan Raiola. So what do? They change their offensive coordinator. Dana Holgorsen comes in. He'll be calling the plays today, and this will be a little bit like looking in the mirror as Holgorsen and Lincoln Riley, very much from the same coaching tree. They've coached together. They've coached against each other. Their paths have crossed time and time again.
Yeah, and Dana's kind of been team hopping this year. I think he started with TCU, and then he's coming over.
It's the era, Sua. It's the transfer portal era.
Transfer portal, coach portal, everybody can transfer. No, he started at TCU. Now he's over at Nebraska. He's going to be the active OC today, so I expect him to try to have a prove-it game and try to prove a point to this USC defense and take shots at a team that can't necessarily get pressure on their quarterback, which is his kryptonite.
This is unheard of, though. This is, he got there, I think, last week during the bye. Now he's already calling plays, right? And they've never coached together before, which is an interesting part. And it's 2 different types of defense or offenses, right? With under Rule with Satterfield, their original offensive coordinator, they run a pro style. Dana Holgorsen is a run and gun. He's had some of the best offenses in the history of college football. The Tavon Austin highlight tape back in 2011, 2012 with the Kid Ink song. That was when it was Stedman Bailey and Geno Smith. But now you have a completely different type of offense that Holgorsen's used to running. How the play calling is going to look, I don't know. And obviously they're not going to change the entire offense with 1 week, so it's going to be interesting today. But this is unprecedented to have a guy come in and automatically take over as an OC.
Before we get to personnel, let's allow stations to identify themselves here on the USC Trojans Media Network.
Because of Mark and high school, I watched a guy named Jimmy Clausen, who was the number 1 quarterback at the time. So, there are guys you like to watch them play on Saturdays and Sundays and emulate a little bit. But the off-field stuff and the pregame stuff and the look-alike, that stuff for me, do what you got to do if that's what he wants to do and helps him play his best, and he's got to do it, and you got to block out what everyone thinks. I think it just goes a little bit too far. But again, Mahomes isn't a bad guy to model your game.
Live, Cody, man. Let him live.
Hey, got a kid on the way. He's already grumpy.
Hey, well, okay. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I think it's a little weird. I do think it's like you used the word unprecedented earlier. I'm not sure that I've ever seen anyone copy someone's celebration.
Yeah,
if a hooper came out and just took the chalk at midcourt and threw it up, you'd be like, that's weird.
Yeah. You don't.
I mean, Kobe pretty emulated MJ, like in every sense of the word.
He did, man. Kobe did. Kobe literally
Jason
took
Tatum
his
is getting
speech patterns.
carried away with the Kobe emulation.
That's
like
why
even
no
the
one
trophy.
likes Jason Tatum. We can all agree on that, right?
He's a baller, though.
L.A., New York, we can all agree. No one likes Jason Tatum. Otherwise, on this team, personnel-wise, defense, what stands out to you guys?
I like their defensive line. They got a big juggernaut, Ty Robinson, up front, who can create some havoc up front. So when I watch him on film, that's definitely someone you circle. You got to block because he can create some havoc back there. I think he'll be an NFL guy as he can rush the passer. He can play good in the run. So some of the Trojans got to watch out up front.
I like these DBs. You know, they've got one of our old faithfuls in Sierra Wright who's been playing well. They've got a guy named Malcolm Hartzog Jr. That's how you say it, Hartzog Jr. He has 4 picks leading this team, and he makes plays on the balls. And then Isaac Gifford, he leads the team, I think, or leads the DBs in tackles, which isn't necessarily good because if your DB has 53 tackles, that means you're giving up a lot of plays downfield. So, but these DBs are probably the strong point of this defense.
It's going to be a good game. This is going to be a game, I think, of evenly matched teams that both kind of like really need a win right now. They're making changes, trying to fix it. Somebody's going to walk out of here going, okay, we made the change. We've got the momentum into the end of the season. We're going to a bowl. And another one's going to walk out going, man, we got to figure some things out in the offseason. So this is still a lot to play for, even though both these teams are right around 500. All right, we come back. We're going to take a look at the college football playoff picture. Probably doesn't involve USC and Nebraska, but the rankings are out. We got a new system. Let's debate it next. Oh, it's rant time on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You clock in for happy hours and holidays, late nights, and regulars. When others go to play, you go to work. Because you don't just carry kegs, you carry the night. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls in the wishing well. Now I get plenty coin, I'm self-made, you ain't gotta wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said, I see the facade when looking at really me, like you could tell. My guard up, I ain't taking L's, if it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail, I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris, I be precise with the timing, I never know where my mind went.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
USC men's basketball is looking for a 4-0 season start tomorrow night as they battle the Cal Golden Bears. Coverage tips off at 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. Fight on!
We are live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, looking at our beautiful downtown campus and now inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We're on homecoming Saturday. USC and Nebraska are set to square off. You see those gorgeous diamond end zones, the gold interlock at the middle of the field. We got the throwback unis. Very cool vibe here inside the Coliseum today. Hopefully inspires the Trojans to play like some of those great late 70s teams. Those were some great football teams that they are hearkening back to here today. All right, time now for this week's Cardinal and Gold Report.
It's time for the Cardinal and Gold Report.
The Cardinal and Gold Report.
Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football.
Well, the first college football playoff rankings are out. The brackets are out. This new 12-team playoff. I think it's all very exciting, and ultimately, I think it's good for the sport. But want to get into it to get your guys' takes. I know Sua's been hitting some of his on Twitter. I got some pushback on him, so I'm curious to see what you have to say. But let's start with you, Sua, because to me, the big question, if you're USC, you're not necessarily in the mix this year for the playoff. And the question then I'd have is, okay, what can I learn from it? And it ultimately comes down to schedule. How would you schedule in this era when you see the way things are being done now?
Well, you can't change your conference schedule. I mean, that's set it as it is what it is, and you just got to play your conference games and you got to win them. But if I'm USC or any team not in the SEC, I'm going to start scheduling FCS schools and giving my team a free week off, since it doesn't matter as long as I win out in my conference or only lose one game. 10? That's what I would do.
In week 10 too?
Hey, also? Week 10, let's play northeast, west, south, north Rhinos.
No one
it's okay.
wants that, but he's right.
He's right. He's not wrong.
Do you guys hear, Sean? Number 3 is Texas. Number 4 is Penn State. Number 5 is Indiana in the current rankings this week. Do you know how many top 25 wins the 3 of them have combined?
0.
Not a single one.
Not one.
What is the point?
Are we keeping Notre Dame?
Well, but we are, and we should. And I would never advocate for us not.
Never get rid of rivals.
I do understand the inclination not to. I don't think the game helps us. USC next year's schedule has at Oregon and at Notre Dame.
And what's crazy
you're scheduling games where you're going to be an underdog.
What's crazy is these SEC teams only have one FCS team on their schedule this year because of the addition of Texas and Oklahoma in the additional conference game. If they didn't have those two teams, they would be playing Southwest School of the Deaf the first week of the season and then Furman week 10. But
it's not just SEC now. It's our league. I mean, the Big Ten is loaded at the top of these rankings. So, I mean, that's the good news for us. We're now part of the league that gets to be in the Cool Kids Club, Sua. That's the fun part, right? It used to just be Pac-12. We'd be out here being like, oh, man, must be nice in the SEC to get all the playoff teams. Big Ten is everywhere, but Indiana hasn't played anybody. Respect to them. They're having a great season. They're going to go play at Ohio State. They can lose that if they want. They'll still be top 12. They'll be rocking a playoff.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell right now it's like, you want to go full into this. Obviously, we have a short time to talk about it, but I'm with you. I mean,
we got all day, Cody.
Okay, well, you're saying this. So you think we take the LSU game out? We take out Notre Dame?
We want it.
But the point of that is, do we take those games out in the future? I mean, obviously, we still have to handle business when we're talking about USC with the Marylands, with the Minnesotas, or else that's irrelevant. But I hear you. I mean, is that going to be important? And we saw Florida State a year ago won every single game, and they went down to personnel because their quarterback's out and they don't make the playoff. So there's so many small things where I think the CFP committee has not finalized how it should really be, or what strength of schedule or personnel, all those things that play a factor when at the end of the day it comes down to wins and losses.
Yeah. But I do think the key, Sean, going forward is the take care of business, right? We were there with Minnesota. You got to beat Minnesota. We were there with Maryland. You got to beat Maryland. Washington last week. You win those 3 games, and all of a sudden USC would be right on the precipice of the playoff picture. I mean, it's crazy, but that's kind of how Penn State's getting it done. James Franklin doesn't win any big games in there, but he's going to roll playoff appearances at Penn State because they take care of business.
Yeah, I just wish this season had more playoff implications for us. It's great to be talking about the Oregons and Indianas right now, but the Trojans are 4-5 right here. Got to find a way to 500 and a bowl game to finish this one out.
All right, well, we were going to get it. You guys like 12? Do you want to stay at 12? Would you have less? Would you have more?
I think 8. I mean, you're playing the national championship game is January 20th. Last year it was the 8th. That's 2 extra weeks. That's more opportunities for guys to get hurt.
Super Bowl's in mid-February now. Football just keeps on going.
I think 8 when it's all said and done. We'll see this year though. It hasn't even happened yet, so I'll be optimistic. But I think when it's all said and done, I think 8 is going to be a little more realistic, somewhere in the middle.
I don't think it matters.
You must have it. You got something to say. You got to take. What's your take?
12 sounds good. 12 sounds good.
That's it.
We got to get to name that Trojan, but you guys have a pick this year? It's a wide open year. Who's going to win it all?
Oregon.
Signetti, Indiana. Let's do it.
I got Oregon with Boise State. Boise State's my sleeper, though. I think Boise State.
He's fun. He's a blast.
Has a chance.
All right, let's get to everyone's America's favorite game. Name that Trojan.
Ontario International Airport, a proud sponsor of our USC Trojans, is thrilled to bring you that moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to
Name That Trojan. Sua still winless, I believe, in Name That Trojan. Is that right? Everyone else has a win?
I won last week.
Did you?
I won 2 weeks ago.
I think Sean won.
No, I guess. What's it called?
No, he got out and then came back in.
Because they let you in.
That's right. We had to change the
Nobody
rules.
let you in.
We had to change the rules. We had to change the rules to get you back in the game. All right, here is this week's first clue. This Trojan was 9-0 versus top 25 teams as a USC quarterback. See, that quarterback gets the win-loss record.
9-0.
9-0 versus top 25 teams. Very impressive.
That's very good.
Nothing? No one wants to say anything?
No.
He was 2-0 versus Nebraska.
John David Booty.
Boom!
Oh, it was.
Boom! 2-0. Back-to-back weeks, baby! Yes!
It was. He's excited.
Yes.
He's excited. Better than a Sewell win.
He is excited.
Only thing better than a Sewell win is a Sewell loss.
Our third clue was 2008 Rose Bowl MVP. John David Booty. Underrated resume, man.
Yeah, I love John David Booty, man. He's good.
What a great name.
Saw him last year. He's a good dude.
What a great name.
Great name. Yeah. JDB.
That whole family is just a bunch of athletes.
Shout out General Booty.
Classic accent.
There you go.
Classic accent, too. John David Booty, great.
Break time here at the Coliseum.
Oh, more Tyson Cheeks.
More Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI coming up.
Dad, are there fees in this food?
Yeah, so?
Doriander and I don't allow fees into our bodies. We only order from Postmates. They support our fee-free lifestyle.
You must free your food from fees.
Go fee-free on orders over $50. Only on Postmates.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Here is a student veteran interview brought to you by IBEW11, NICA, and Pipe Fitters. Together, these groups proudly support USC. Fight on.
It's time for this week's student vet interview, and I've got Sergeant Sam McCarthy here. He's an LA guy. He's a USC guy. But you also had some incredible service. So you worked for the renowned Screaming Eagles. You were a medical lab tech. Tell us about your time in the service and what inspired you to join up.
After my first contract, I wanted to re-enlist one more time. That's what took me to the 101st Division. My main job was about keeping blood supplies so that we, in the hospital setting, could deal with trauma situations and have products ready to save lives downrange.
And now you're a senior at USC majoring in mechanical engineering. Plus, I see that you serve as the lead suspension engineer for USC Racing. I didn't even know we had a USC Racing. Do you tell me about that?
So every year we design and build a race car here on campus. We compete against over 100 schools, mostly from the nation, but it's an international competition. So last year we had international schools there as well. I'm responsible for everything that holds the race car above the ground. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. This year, we're building our new chassis right now. So I'm in crunch time, manufacturing all the components we're integrating onto our chassis. As a mechanical engineer, this is the epitome of engineering. I get to design and build. I get to see it on the track. I get to tune it, and I get to iterate my design for next year.
That's incredible. I love that. Well, the Trojans are trying to get a win today against Nebraska. It's a big homecoming weekend. What's your prediction, Sam? We're going to get it done?
I think we'll get it done. We got the fight on spirit behind us, so we'll see what the boys will do.
That's what I like to hear. Sam McCarthy, thank you so much for your service and for being this week's student vet interview. Bye now.
This is USC Nebraska on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and KNX 1070. News coverage continues on 97.1 FM. Fight on!
Kickoff is fast approaching. You are looking live at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. High above, you can see this beautifully painted field for this one, USC versus Nebraska. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, and it's time now for our Prescription to Win head coach's interview with Keely Orr and Lincoln Riley.
This is your Prescription to Win, brought to you by USC Pharmacy.
Proud partner of USC Athletics.
USC Pharmacy is operated by the USC Man School.
Learn more at pharmacies.usc.edu.
I'm Keely Orr here with head coach Lincoln Riley. Coach, it's homecoming weekend, 2 blue blood teams once again, and throwback uniforms. What do you make of this matchup on Saturday?
Yeah, we got a lot going on. It's an exciting matchup. You got two programs with tremendous history, tradition, getting a chance to play here in the Coliseum, as you said, homecoming. I mean, there's a lot to it. So these are games that you'll look back on and remember. And so we're excited about it. I feel like the guys have prepped well from the bye week into this week. I know really, really excited to play. You know, it's a great closing stretch starting here with Nebraska.
It's a unique situation given Nebraska's sudden OC change. What goes into prep when you have 2 schemes that are kind of conflicting? You got an air raid and a pro-style offense. What do you take from both?
Yeah, it's unique timing. You know, this is a little bit of a new one in that, you know, sometimes when you see these changes happen, you've got people on staff that step up, and so to have somebody coming in from a little bit of the outside is unique, and so I'm sure there'll be some things different. Although I kind of doubt it's going to be a radical wholesale change to another system, just given the timing, but we're going to have to be ready to adjust, and that's just there's going to be some of it that's going to be unpredictable, just like any game, and we've got to understand how they're trying to attack us, and we've got to be attacking them as well and make sure we play the game on our own terms.
Nebraska's defense seems like an older, more experienced group that shows a lot of looks. What do you expect from their side of the ball?
Yeah, it's kind of been the same story all year. You know, it's a very good defense. You know, they're highly ranked defense in a lot of categories. They've done a really nice job stopping the run. And they've also been able to create some big plays. I mean, I think it starts with their front. They got a very good defensive front. So, I think that'll be a big part of the game is the matchup of their front, obviously, versus our offensive line. And then I think they're a good enough group that when you get the chance to make big plays, explosive plays against them, you got to take advantage of that.
When it comes to the quarterback change with Jaden Maiava, what does success look like for you in his first start as Trojan?
He just needs to just settle in and do his job, do what he does on the practice field. We're excited for him. He's prepared well. I think the bye week was a good time for us to be able to settle in with him as the starter. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you just got to go play, and you got to put all the other stuff to the side and go play, go execute, go distribute. And I know he's excited for his opportunity, and I believe he'll play well.
All right, Coach, thanks for having me. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you to Coach and Keely. Now it's time to get back to Keely on the sideline. This is Keely Orr's Best Bites.
Now it's time for Keely's Best Bite.
Keely's Best Bite.
Let's get the sideline scoop and insights brought to you by Postmates. Great restaurant selection and no delivery fee or service fee on eligible orders.
Bite on.
All right, we're back with Keely Orr. Keely, injury news to watch on both sides. Who you seeing warming up, and what's the sheet say?
Yeah, so first off, I can confirm what Matt Rule said on Thursday. Dylan Raiola is warming up and looks pretty good, so you can expect him for Nebraska. And this is actually a first for the Big Ten availability reports. At first, we got that a lot of names for USC was out, and then they issued a correction and said, hold up, they're questionable, they're not out. So it was devastating news for USC. But now I can confirm that Kamari Ramsey, Jacoby Covington, Braylon Shelby, Kyron Hudson, and Amarian Peterson are listed as questionable, but good news. So far, Kamari Ramsey, Jacoby Covington, and Kyron Hudson are warming up. We haven't seen both Ramsey and Covington in a while. Last time we saw Kamari was at Maryland, and the last time we saw Covington was in Minnesota, but both look good. It looks like that bye week was helpful for them in recovery.
Yeah, so USC's secondary, you feel like, is pretty close to full strength going up against Raiola in Nebraska today.
Definitely, for sure. And it will be helpful, especially considering we don't exactly know what we're going to see scheme-wise from Nebraska. If they decide to go more that air raid approach under Holgorsen, it'll be nice to have a healthy, full secondary for that approach.
And, you really messed up Sua's pick, Keely. He had to scramble here, go away from Kyron Hudson. You feel good about Kyron Hudson. He doesn't know what to do now.
He's warming up. I did see that as well.
Okay.
The one thing I don't know is
in his pick, anyways.
Braylon Shelby.
Who didn't pick until like 10 minutes ago?
That's behind the scenes.
The one person you didn't see is Braylon Shelby. All right, Keely's going to come back up on the stage with us and make the picks next. It's our final segment of the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Behind the scenes.
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it!
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and there's no place I'd rather be. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and time don't matter to me, 'cause I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
USC football on ESPN LA and the all-new ESPN LA app and KNX 1070. News coverage continues on 97.1 FM. Fight on.
One final segment of the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, getting you set for USC versus Nebraska. We're all up on the stage. Look at the team. They're hyped and ready to go. We've got Keeley up here. It's time to see whose picks are going to be wrong this week. I mean, it's time for our Old Dominion Best in the Game picks.
The best in the game
is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line,
official freight carrier of USC Athletics,
helping the world keep promises.
All right, Keeley, fire away. What you got?
Sorry, I was trying to get a last-minute injury report. I had Kyron Hudson. No, I did not.
Oh, you did not?
I had Deuce Robinson.
Wow.
I had Deuce Robinson.
Wow.
I apologize. Deuce Robinson.
Thank God we have graphics.
Even here.
You stole a Jave.
What? Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Look at this.
Go to Cody. I'm not even ready.
My turn. I got quarterback Jaden Mayava this week.
There you go.
I had to fight for this pick in the group chat as well. Everyone tried to take my pick, even though I called it a week ago. And I expect Jaden to get me my first win in 3 years today. I'm feeling very confident, although I shouldn't be.
You really went out on a limb
If the team wins, there's no way you lose, Cody. That's how I'm feeling.
I'm just hoping for a win.
Sua?
I don't know.
Just pick this. You got
Kyron Hudson and or Greedy Vance. Whoever plays today, I guess.
Sean?
I got the surprise pick of the week, Elijah Hughes.
Surprise to us all.
Two sacks.
Okay.
2 sacks, maybe
I
a
like
cross
that,
fumble
Sean.
today.
I like
Your
that.
pass rush today, baby.
I like it.
And I will take Jalen Smith. You know, I feel like, if it's a defensive day, maybe Raiola throws us one. We got to have a pick six. Somebody takes it back on homecoming. I'll give it to Jalen. Jalen's one of the defensive players that kind of rings up the stats. But, Cody, I feel like, man, if today's not your day, you may never win, man.
Thanks, Jordan.
It feels like it's Mayava's day.
Thank you for that optimism going in. Hey, you know what? Like I said, hey, if we win and Jaden plays well, I should have this one in the bag. We are going to win. I'm feeling confident. I'll say it that way, and I'm going to get my first win and best in the.
I hope Woody goes for
as long as Jordan doesn't win, we're okay.
Wow, I am in first place. That's why he's saying that. I have commanding lead in first place.
Self-proclaimed.
Just so people know, the entire broadcast of this game will be on the USC Game Day app and the ESPN LA app. Up until 3:30, we will be on ESPN LA 710 and then KNX 1070. Then ESPN LA is going to Lakers, and we will stay on KNX 1070. So there's your radio report. Now it's time for USC versus Nebraska.
You've been listening to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
All right, real quick, all my real Trojan family, let me hear you making some noise. Don't you dare come in this book with any other gear than Trojan gear on this side. Ow, I see you. Yes. Oh, yeah. Fight on, baby.
Tradition.
an establishment of core values from generation to generation. Excellence, a vigorous dedication to achieving greatness. Empowerment.
It's all over, and Southern Cal has won.
Three-peating into history, the women of Troy!
A testament to resiliency and equity to create hope. Brand.
This is the entertainment capital of the world. We know how to market, promote, help stars flourish.
An identity that is distinguished from others based on history, quality, reputation, and name. This is the University of Southern California.
What's up, USC fans? This is Terrell Thomas. Welcome to the Collie. Fight on.
What's up, Trojan family? It's Kamari Ramsey. Welcome to the Coliseum and enjoy the game. Fight on.
What's up, Trojan family? It's Deuce Robinson here. Welcome to the Coliseum. Cheer loud, and as always, fight on.
What's up, Trojan fans? Nate Clifton here. Welcome to the Coliseum and fight on.
What's up, Trojan family? It's Jaden Mayava. Welcome to the Coliseum. Fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Airlines field at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for today's Big Ten matchup, featuring the visiting Nebraska Cornhuskers and the home team, your University of Southern California Trojans, home of 136 national championships. We hope you enjoy the entire game day experience this afternoon. We also remind you to please follow the Trojan Spirit Code by showing respect for all fans in attendance. Thank you, and fight on. USC has assigned a high priority to assuring all athletic events are conducted in a safe and enjoyable atmosphere. In compliance with the Trojan Spirit Code, please respect all fans in attendance. For immediate assistance during the game, please speak with the closest usher or security personnel. To report any incidents of fan misconduct, please call the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum Fan Behavior Hotline. That number is 213-263-4007. Or you can text Coliseum with your seat location and a description of the situation. Once again, the number 213-263-4007. That number, 213-263-4007. We do thank you for your cooperation and hope you enjoy the game. Fans, be sure to sign into the USC network Fight On for faster service. Trojan fans, USC football camps are officially open for registration. All campers 3rd grade through 12th grade are welcome. From youth camps, position group camps to elite level camps, there is a camp for everyone. Campers will benefit from interaction with the Trojan coach and staff, as well as experience the unique tradition of USC football. Learn from the best and have the summer of a lifetime. Scan the QR code that's on the video board right now to sign up today. Fans, go ahead and snap a selfie, tag it with hashtag USC Selfie, and you just might see yourself up on the video board during today's game. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at USC_athletics. And now, let's take it down to our DJ booth as it's time to feed the beast with Monster Energy and DJ Malski.
Trojan family, you know what time it is? It's time to get a win. Are you ready to get the win today? That's right. It's your boy DJ Malski right here in the Monster Energy DJ booth. I'm gonna keep this game hype with you guys all game long and all game strong, all right? We need you super loud, super proud. Who's ready to beat the Cornhuskers? Who's ready? Oh yeah, so we need you loud and proud, all right? You wanna hear something? Don't forget to hit me at DJ Malski, and I got you, all right? If you're ready, Trojan family, let me hear you loud. Say, fight on! That's what I'm talking about. Let's get to it. Hey family, if you got your phone, take your phone out, scan the QR code on the board, and your phone becomes the camera. All right, it's time for Fans See. All right, make sure when you scan that QR code, show us your energy. We want to see it. All right, let's get this win. With that sweatshirt anymore. Don't do it. I'll make you do a dance move. You better have your knee brace on under that. Going up. You know what time it is, Trojan family? It's time.
With the first selection in the first round, Reggie Bush, running back, USC. Matt Leinart, quarterback, USC.
Matt Khalil. Adoree Jackson. Jordan Addison. Clay Matthews. Brian Cushing. Drake London. Mark Sanchez. Tyron Smith. USC.
Southern California.
I mean, look, I think when you look at USC and just the factory it is for the NFL and all the great players, it starts with that. It starts with the history of this program. And you're just saying, like, some of the best players to ever play the game, you know, walk this campus, wore the Cardinal and gold.
When you look back at USC and look at the defensive players that are in the NFL, and now you look back, you got Ray Malaruga, Brian Cushing, Keith Rivers, think about Taylor Mays. Those were the dynasty years that I look up to, and that's why it's a football factory.
You have great coaches, Lincoln, you have this staff that's been put together. They're going to get the most out of their players, and that is what prepares you for the next level. It's just like, that's why I went here. I came here because I'm like, some of the best quarterbacks to ever play went here. Some of the best players of all time went here. I want to be a part of that. And there's nothing like USC.
In the world of college football, the landscape is changing, and the University of Southern California is at the forefront of NIL. Here, your potential is limitless. It's not just about seizing opportunities, it's about creating them.
Yeah, AKA the best chef in college football.
It's not just Hollywood that's at USC's doorstep. It's a bustling economic hub with a wide range of businesses eager to partner with Trojan athletes.
Getting ready for practice before a game. I can tell you now, it's very real. Sports and entertainment are converging, and they have been in the last decade. This is the entertainment capital of the world, with marketers and promoters. Nobody's close.
USC football in Los Angeles is not just a game. It's an experience, a journey to greatness, and a pathway to becoming a national brand, all while wearing the iconic Cardinal and Gold. NIL is USC.
Trojan family? Who's loud? Ladies, let me hear you make some noise. Let me hear the ladies.
Did it work?
Let me see you, ladies. Yep, in the middle right there. Turned up with Tell you what, man, listen, put that shirt on. You gotta get off my DJ booth, put that shirt on. You better be lucky I'm being nice today.
Coach Lincoln Riley, Coach, back in the Coliseum for homecoming weekend with throwback uniforms. How does it feel?
It feels great. You know, what a great matchup. Two of the most historic college football programs of all time going at it in this setting. Doesn't get much better than this.
Coming off the bye, what do you want to see from your team today?
We prepped really well. We need to be able to carry over what we did on the practice field, the improvements we've made. We've been able to get some guys healthy. Really looking forward to the matchup.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, real quick, Trojan family, who's ready to get this win? We need some noise right now. I can feel it. Sing this with us. Today's the first day of the best days of my life. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? It's gonna hurt y'all, Nebraska. Today's the first day. I need to hear you, let me hear you! I like that energy, I like that energy. Let's go! Great shirt, great shirt! I know, I didn't say ugly shirt, I said great shirt. Go on the inside, other side, other side. Ow! We need energy. Who's ready to win? Trojan family, who's ready?
Brendan!
For 136 years, it's been us. It's been Los Angeles. It's been roses. It's been national championships. Since 1888, college football has been about USC. This has always been our sport. Now, this is our conference. And while our opponents change, our vision, our expectation, our standard stays the same. We are proud as hell to be Trojans. But we are not satisfied. What we're building here is stronger, faster, and bigger. This is college football on the biggest stage.
This is USC.
Make some noise for them right now. Here they go.
University of Southern California, OTC Color Pupils. color guard on the field is a representative of the SoCal Pipe Trades, CPMCA, and IBEW NECA of LA County, proud supporters of USC athletics and our military veterans. Today we honor this week's student veteran of the game, Samuel McCarthy. An 8-year veteran, Samuel served at Brooke Army Medical Center as a medical laboratory technician, later with the 101st Airborne Division, the renowned Screaming Eagles. Following in his grandfather's footsteps, he applied to USC after his military service and is currently a senior majoring in mechanical engineering. Please join us in welcoming Samuel McCarthy as our student veteran of the game and thanking him for his service. Fans, earlier this week, the Trojan family lost a legend when former head coach John Robinson passed away at age 89. As an assistant coach from 1972 to 1974, Coach Robinson helped USC win 2 national championships. Then, after taking over for John McKay in 1976, he coached the Trojans for 12 years over 2 different stints, while winning 74% of his games, winning all 4 Rose Bowl games he coached in, and winning the 1978 national championship. His teams included 24 first-team All-Americans, 22 NFL first-round draft picks, a Lombardi Award winner, and 2 Heisman Trophy winners. Coach Robinson was inducted into the USC Hall of Fame, the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame, and the College Football Hall of Fame, and was twice named the Pac-10 Coach of the Year. Please join us in a moment of silence as we honor the life and legacy of Coach John Robinson. Thank you. Please remain standing and join in singing as the Trojan Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Jacob Vogel, plays our national anthem. And now, collegiate football's greatest battle cry, Conquest. And ridden by Dana Canstall, the Trojans' mascot, Traveler. The Spirit of Troy, the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band.
Throws, end zone, touchdown, USC. It is Adoree Jackson with his first career touchdown, and it'll be the first of many by Adoree Jackson. He gets away at the 40, down the sideline to the 30. He's at the 20, he's at the 10, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Adoree Jackson, and USC has taken the lead.
And now please turn your attention to the tunnel and your tunnel captain for today's game, the 2016 Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year and Thorpe Award winner, Adoree Jackson.
Trojan fans, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, I'm gonna need y'all to stand on y'all feet right now because we got the USC Trojans coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
taking the field, your USC Trojans.
Guess who's back?